because this is not going to, yeah. Hi guys, welcome to this very rainy and thundering live session. And yes, we're up and running today. Oh gosh, it is raining. After the near miss of Beryl, we had Hurricane Beryl, which was first heading for us at the northern border, and then it went more north and went into Cozumel. It behind Beryl is a rainstorm, so that's what we're experiencing now. So yeah, it's very wet and rainy outside and thundering a little bit, but today, as you can see, I have a panel out. Glare, glare, glare. Thank you. And this panel is, maybe if I put it towards me, it'll be better. And this panel is the Sargent Art. Yeah, Sargent Art. Let me put my hand here to kind of minimize that glare. The Sargent Art panel, it is a double prime natural cotton duck, acid-free sizing for oil and acrylic paints. It has a arguably, this is just a simple panel, guys. It's simply just a panel that I got, and I've never used it, so today I decided to use it for today's live stream. The only other thing about this panel is that, let me grab a cutter. Today, the medium we're going to be using is, oh, I dropped. Something just had to fall. The medium we're going to use today is tempera acrylics. Yeah, we have 3 different tubs of tempera acrylics. I've been meaning to use these out, and I've never had the right moment to use them. So I decided today for this live stream, we're going to be using the tempera acrylics as much as we can use today. I've already have a picture set to draw, so we're going to draw it and then paint it with these. So I have a tempera acrylic, 6 colors here in white, black, red, yellow, green, and blue. I also have these Pastella tempera acrylics, and this is in green, blue, yellow, orange, pink, and purple. And I also have the Sargent Art liquid gold tempera acrylics, assorted metallic tempera acrylic paints. And I know I have the colors here somewhere. Here they are. And these are Aztec gold, antique gold, gold, silver, copper, and bronze. So there's 3 different sets of tempera acrylics that we'll be using on this. Have I done something like this before? No, I haven't. I also have next to me here is a mixed media paper, just to swatch the colors on, because I don't remember how these look. Especially these 2 here. I have my desktop easel out, so that when the painting session begins, I can prompt up my board. On the far end here is my mixing basin. The brushes that I'm going to be using today is the Milan set 311 brushes. These brushes I bought right here in the country of Belize. I have a 10, a flat 16, a round number 14, and a round number 8. So I have these here, and I also pull out 4 different pencils. I'm not sure which pencils I'm going to be using right now. I have a number 7 basic, a 2H Stabilo. This is the Carbonex pencil that I've been using, and this is a blue lead. And this is a basic mechanical pencil. It's a basic electromechanical pencil. Yeah, and in here has blue lead, so I've been using these. So let me see if I could bring it out. Crap, it broke. Let's see if I can bring it out. Yeah, blue lead. Yeah, you can see snap there, blue lead. So We have a range of things we can choose from for this. And I need to open this up. So I'm going to just make a slit right here on this part of it. Yeah. So it's rain. I think it's going to rain all day today. So let's get rid of this plasticky thing. Oh gosh. Thank you. Okay. Now for a better reference. So I don't think I want to use this because this breaks easy. And I'm wondering, I don't think I want to use this one either because this one is really light. I do have my needle eraser next to me, but I'm going to be using this one, the 2H. Why? Because I don't think I'll need to eraser that much if I use a 2H. And I'll be drawing an octopus, a chibi octopus. And the reason I'm going chibi rather than going into my more cartoony style is because these tempera paints are really, they don't have the best, what's the word, opacity. So I know that I'll be, and these are supposed to be pre-primed, so I know I will be struggling a lot. So I decided to use I already see my first mistake. Hear that beautiful rain that is as raindrops keep falling on my head. That doesn't mean my life should be going. Yeah. I already see my first mistake. First mistake, seen and sighted. I didn't give enough space for the tentacles of the octopus. It just means that the head's going to be smaller. And if you notice, I'm not putting down really dark lines. I can see the lines, but I'm not putting down really dark lines because I need to be it's like going lightly. So I'm going really light with this. And for this little creature here, I'm only going to put 4 tentacles. I know he has 8, but really I just need 4. Yeah, it's correct. It's not really opaque. And because it's not opaque, I'm going to struggle a lot with this. Okay, I see my reference. What I need to do now is to draw a line here. And that's it. Okay. That line that I draw across the circle is, are you guys, you're barely seeing what I'm doing. That line that I did across the, is where the eyes are gonna go. So, draw the circle for the eyes, and then I'm gonna come in. Okay. Okay. Whatever marks I don't need, I'm gonna erase. I decided, like I said, chibi because of the fact that this is tempera paint, and tempera painting is, these temperas are really weak. I mean, I know there's people who do amazing art with it. I'm not one of them. Oh my goodness. You seen the white thing on my hand. I might need to pull out some acrylics. Now that I've seen in my lines, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to so here we are, guys. Hi. It's just a chibi octopus because, to be honest, I'm gonna put up it now. So let me flip my board up a bit so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Because now that I've already put my board up, I can paint. Why does it look dark? Let me see if I can bring it over. It looks kind of dark, but I have lights on it. Not sure why it's looking dark, especially on this side here. This goes in front of me. Yeah. Let me move this now to here so I get rid of some of the darkness that is there. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. Now that I've already drawn the base of this, the pencil I'm using is a 2H pencil. I find that when it comes to working on gessoed surface, this 2H pencil goes as dark as an HB. So sometimes I also use 5H pencil, because those two goes as dark as an HB, especially on gessoed surface like this board. It is a very wet. Okay, let's open up now our tempera paints that we're using. Yeah. Why do it looks hard? It looks hard. It really does look hard. Ah. Look how these looks. Oh. Let's see if I could bring this down. Maybe if I bring this down. Yes. That's what it needed to be. Yes. It looks really hard in there. Is it? It is. Okay, that's not hard. The blue is hard. The yellow is hard. The red is hard. Okay, so the only color that is not hard in this that I opened is the green. That's not good. What about these? OMG, look at these. I might need to use a palette knife. Yeah. So this is why I like these live streams, because it forced me to use paints that I would otherwise use. OMG. What on earth? because I haven't used these paints in such a long time, and these are not good anymore, so I have to get rid of these paints. Oh my goodness, these are not good anymore. I haven't used these in some months, and they're not good anymore, so these are not good. Okay, so here we are, set to do an acrylic piece, and we can't do it because the paints that we're supposed to use are not good anymore. Should have checked that before, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Plan B. Since we can't use tempera acrylics, guys, we're just going to use acrylics. Here's another set of paints that I haven't used in some months, probably a year. These ones here, I haven't used. I've used them some. As you can see, they're used. They are used, but I personally haven't touched them in over a year. So since we can't use those acrylics, let's pull these acrylics out. Remember these ones that came with the deluxe drawing set? Yeah, that we reviewed last year. Yeah, it was last year. And like I said, it's all right. It's okay. We can't use those anymore, and I'm not going to force myself to use those because they're no longer good. So we're going to be using these ones. These acrylic paints are from, I can't read that name, Von Blitzwick. It's a 36 color set. Beautiful thing is that I like to do color mixing, but when I work with colors that are more than 24, I tend to just not do color mixing. Good thing we're committed for about 2 hours, and I don't think it's going to take 2 hours to paint this. So I'm just going to take the paints out that I need. This also have an extra white in here. This was a white I bought from Salmon Kwan. It's a glittery acrylic paint. It's the only glitter paint I have, if you count these two. That comes in the Von Blitzwick 36 set, gold and silver. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to use these. So now that we have our paint all set out, I'm wondering if my chibi needs to go up a little more. Yeah, it seems to go up a little more. So I need to shorten it. Let's eraser that. Because I'm looking at the tentacles and it doesn't look proportionate. I said I was only going to put 4 tentacles, but they don't look like they're in proportion. So, and it's like one of the few times you're going to see me use acrylic, so let's enjoy it. Now what you see me doing when I do this is to try to get where the line is going to be. Because sometimes we do this and we tend to forget that the picture could be cut off. There we go. Okay, there we go. It kind of looks a little better now with shorter tentacles on the edge. I think those edge ones were a bit too long. I'm just going to darken it a bit so you guys can see it. I mean, I can see it perfectly, but maybe you can't see with all the lights on. Okay, I think I got it. This one is still a bit too long for my liking. But This is the last adjustment I'm gonna make. That's the last adjustment I'm gonna make. Okay, there goes the thunder. Colors. Let's keep this interesting now. We're working with chibi. I'm looking at pink. I'm looking at this flesh tint here. I'm looking at rose. And those are the colors I'm looking at for the octopi. So I'm going to clean this out and open this up. Here's my, still using my ceramic plate. I'm gonna dab some paint down. Okay, a little bit of flesh. Dab a little bit of that down. I'm gonna grab a number 10 Milan brush. Put a little bit of water because there's a consistency I like to work with when it comes to acrylic paint. Mix it up. I did have out a palette knife, which I could have mixed it up with. But somehow, I guess it's the watercolor training in me, love to mix with my brush. And, you know, when I'm working with acrylics or wash, I have to remind myself that, you know, I have the option to mix with a palette knife rather than with my brush. So today we're trying acrylic. I have to make sure I mix enough. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to mix enough. So what I did is I mixed the pink and the fresh paint together. And this should give me a nice color. Now this is kind of light. And this is why I don't like acrylics. You see those brush strokes? Yeah, those get to me like crazy. I should have masked off the eyes. Oh, it's too late to try to do that now. And it's so thin. And this is a pre-gesso board, so I don't think I have to gesso again. Oh man, I miss my watercolors. I miss my watercolors. I do. I miss them so much. Now all I'm trying to do is darken it a bit. I don't know how long it's going to take to dry. These are acrylic paints I'm working with. And they're not the matte ones, so. That's the other thing about acrylics. They're so glossy when it's dried. Watch me suffer, guys, when I use acrylics. Remember, we were supposed to use a tempera paints, but the tempera paints are not good. And now because I'm working with such a small little simple subject, Only thing is I have to wait for this to dry in order to add more paints. That's the only downside. And I don't know. See how it doesn't blend in smoothly and it pulls up the paint from underneath? It's like suffering here. You know? And I know I could just put dots, but should have done that too. How do acrylics artists dry their paints fast? Do they use a heat gun? Because that's what I want to use. I want to use a heat gun, like a watercolorist. Okay, what time is it? 10:30 or 10:22. Now what I want to do is I want to do the background. Yeah, I have to do the background as well. But this is going to take some time to dry. And it's driving me up the wall. Because before I add the other layer on top, I have to wait till the bottom layer dries. And I don't want to wait. Like if I was a watercolorist, I could overwork it. I have the option to overwork it. But for these acrylic paints, you have to wait for it to dry. Like I said, I'm not sure if they use drying tools. So that's what we're doing, waiting for paint to dry. You think because I used acrylic, it should dry quickly. It looks like it wants to dry. I wonder what happens if I pull up my drawing tool. Because this is a gessoed surface, so I'm wondering if I add heat to it, if it's going to ruin the surface of it. I do have out a palette knife right here. So yeah, I didn't even check if these are good. Maybe this is, yeah, these are still good. It's the other ones that are not so good that I need to throw away. So waiting for paint to dry. This is not fun. At least with watercolor I could hit it with my heat tool, but with acrylics I wonder if you could hit it with your heat tool. Give me a moment, let's see if we could hit it with our heat tool. Hey Drifty, how are you doing? Yeah, you made it. I am struggling here. Guess what I'm painting with? Acrylic paints. And I'm torturing. You want to see me torture? This is your opportunity to see me torture, because I'm actually torturing using these paints. Just hit it with my heating tool because it took too long to dry. And I need to remember to use the palette knife to mix the colors with. And look how patchy it looks. Is it a testament to the paints? Probably not, because I'm really terrible at acrylics. So now I'm going to use the palette knife. I'm mixing my paints up. I need to put another coat on that because you notice how patchy it is. I hate that. So I'm going to put another coat down, and I think I'm going to use probably a bigger brush this time. Oh gosh. Let's just put you here, my studio rag. So the one thing I need to remember is to mix enough paint. I'm just doing a simple chibi octopi because I was supposed to be using tempera paints, but they weren't good at all. I could have used, that's the only one I have. I do have this dagger brush here from Lindsay. But I like to use acrylic. Oh, that looks much better. I like to do acrylics for acrylics. So I don't really use these a lot. I usually use these for gouache. Yeah, the second coat really helps. And I'm using a bigger brush because that little brush, I don't know, it really helps. I'm torturing here, Thrifty. I don't normally do acrylic paints, especially in my style. Because my style is very cartoony and it's very flat. And watercolor seems to help so much. So this is my second layer I'm putting down. Right now it's raining and thundering. I think I should mix up the one for the back legs. What is that? I don't know what that is, but come off. Thank you. Yeah, the second coat really helps. Now, I don't think these paints are light fast. I think these are more study paints, or as we will call them, student paints. So I don't think they're very light fast. What I do on my live stream is, I like to use mediums I don't normally use, do techniques I don't normally do. And one of the mediums I don't do at all is acrylics. But I do have some acrylics thanks to an amazing friend of mine who gifted me some acrylics. And yeah. I think I'm going to hit this again with the gun, the heating gun, so it could heat up. So I could oh shoot. Oh well, that's okay. So now I'm gonna mix up some rose and some pink for the, now this rose is really watery. Rose and some pink for the back legs. Yeah. I have to remember to use my palette knife when I'm doing mixing with acrylics. When I do mixing with acrylics and oh yeah, those I heard are really good. Yeah, I heard those are really good. But I only have two brands of acrylics. Well, the only brand of acrylic I have is this one, My friend who lives in Germany, my very, very dear friend, bought it for me. So, as you know, I'm in somewhat of a no buy, so I don't so I'm not really getting anything outside of trying to use up my art supplies. So basically, I'm trying to use those things like these stuff. I don't really use these stuff. And I need to use them up. To be honest, Thrifty, I need to use them up. So I'm gonna hit this here. I think this, like I said, I think it's a German brand. But she lives in Germany and she bought me these paints. And I never really used them. But I'm not really an acrylic person, so I think it was Creative that sent me some beautiful acrylic paints. And those worked perfectly. It was like amazing. But I re-gift them to a friend who used them more than I do. The one thing I learned from other art YouTubers is try to keep your brush consistent. Like these brush, I don't really use them for watercolors. I usually would use them for gouache. So that's like the one thing I learned from them. Try to keep your um and I just need a little bit of color here, just a little bit, because I want it to look like it belongs to this octopi here. I do. I wanted him to look like he belongs. So I just want to lighten it a bit right there. Yeah, I just want to lighten him a bit right there. And I'm going to go in now with the, excuse me, let me mute you. I'm going to go in now with my heat gun so I could dry this off a bit quickly and put on a third layer. Okay. Layer number 2 needs to go on. So what I'm going to do now is I need to mix up some pink. I'm probably going to use all this pink. And the sad part about it is my brain is going to tell me, you're using up the paints. And that's what I want to do. But it's going to be like, you can't use up all the paints. And there I go again. But I have to. Because, yeah. My brain is telling me I'm using up all the paints. But I need to because my little Central American mind is saying you can't use this stuff up. That's always been my struggle. Always trying to save things. but I need to use them. See, it does benefit from a second layer. And now this board is supposed to be pre-gessoed, but I think I should have gessoed it before because it didn't hold the paints well. And I do need to put on a third layer because it's still very much patchy. Still very much patchy. The only thing I'm noticing is that this pink is drying much darker than it is here. So this is my third layer here going on. Still very much patchy. And it's a very simple, basic, chibi little octopi. But it takes a lot of these paints. It's amazing how much paint it's taken to complete. It's not like it's supposed to be a work of art. It's just a basic little thing, and it's taken a lot of paint. I think I'm gonna do the finishing touches with some acrylic paint pens. I do have acrylic paint pens, but for this part, I need to. Okay, I think I've reduced the patchiness. Okay, I don't mind that little piece of white that is in there. It builds character. Because what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go in here and I'm gonna, yeah, see, darken this a bit. Right here. It's raining right now, so I'm hoping it is producing what I need it to produce, which is a lighter part of of this back end. And I need to go into the paint pens just to kind of what's the word? Do some finishing touches. What I have in my palette is this. So I usually mix the colors together, and I don't mix them together completely. So there's still fragments of the other color that I'm using there, and I just put it on. And that's what I'm doing. And while the bottom layer is still a bit wet, I just put on the top one. I don't know where I learned that technique, so don't quote me on it, but it's just something I love to do. I don't even know if it's an acrylic artist technique. It's just something I like to do, just to ensure that the colors are all mixed together. And it's still a bit darker. I think I kind of overworked that side a bit. But I just need it to be, because when I look in the camera, it doesn't show what I'm looking at. And I want you guys to see what I'm looking at. It's because I haven't even reached the background yet. But like I said, it's a very basic little thing. It's not like it's going to be like, I'm doing anything major. It's very basic. Now, what I'm doing now is going to merge these colors together. Is this supposed to be a little dark right here? Yeah. And yeah. And then it should be a little light at the ends. Let me see if I could turn the camera a bit so you guys can see what I'm looking at on that end, because I think I kind of overworked it a bit. See? That's what I'm looking at. But I think I'm okay with it. What I want to do now is I need to darken some areas. Like right here, I need to darken. So I'm going to put a little bit of this color in it. It's the mauve. Just a tad. I'm going to grab this brush, which is the number 6 one. Just so I can mix it up a bit with the color here. Because we need to get it right here. I need it just to be a little dark. Should wait till that dried a bit. Oh well. C'est la vie, mes amis. It is already 46 minutes in, and we're about, oh sorry. Okay, oh shoot, this thing is not. Thank you. Okay. So what are we doing now? We are darkening this area here. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We need to darken this area, smooth it out. Because remember we only put down 2 coats here. And that's not nice, but that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I'm gonna paint over you anyway. See, there we go. It's exactly what we wanted to do for it to be lighter here. And just to blend into this part here. I said, I think I may have overworked this a bit, but it's all right. It's okay. It has to be a bit darker than the, just a bit darker than the, back ones. I'm struggling here, guys. You have no idea how much I'm struggling. Okay, so I'm going to put a dash of rose down. And I still have plenty of paints. I'm thinking the color that I want to use for the background is a color I have a lot of. And the color I seem to have a lot of here is... No, I don't know. Red. But that won't look good with this. It won't. It will look terrible. There we go. What color do you think I should put the background? I'm almost done, believe it or not. I think. I hope. I pray. Okay, so this should be the darkest because I know I could have, but with this Milan, the darkest, the smallest brush size I have is the, in the 311 is the number 8. I thought I had a number 6, but it's in a different model. And I don't like mixing my brush with my mediums. So now that I've established this for acrylic paint, I'm only going to use this for acrylic painting. And look at my chibi's eyes. It looks haunting. Okay. It really does look haunted. Like super haunted. I have a lot of this pink paint left. And I'm wondering if I should put a layer of it down. So not to waste it. Because I made a lot of it. Okay, so I'm going to mute again so I could dry. And I'm thinking, what colors do I have? This is a yellow color in a different brand. This is another yellow color I have here in this brand. That's yellow medium. I have lemon yellow, yellow ochre. I'm thinking of a yellow. So let me mute again and try to dry those pieces that I have there. It is raining all day with a lot of water on a Sunday morning. I got up really early. I got up really early this morning and I did all my chores that I needed to do. I even made dessert for dinner later, so we're good. Maybe this is a good practice for me to use. I see my mistake. I keep mixing with my brush. I'm supposed to mix with the palette knife. That's the mistake I'm making. I'm not supposed to mix with the brush. I'm supposed to mix with the palette knife. I'm not used to it, guys. I do watercolor. Watercolorists usually mix with their brush. They don't really mix with palette knives. But with acrylic, it is more efficient to mix with your palette knife. I do have palette knives, as you can see. I have one in my hand right here. I use these in paint making. I don't really use these in painting. Hence, okay. Well, look at here. Well, look at here. We are doing something after all. Just need to brighten this a bit because it looks foreign. When I'm looking at it, it looks foreign. And like how it's dried, it might just do me the favor of light, of being light. I think that one is light. It's just this one is a little dark. It looks kind of foreign and I don't, oh shucks. That's okay. It's okay. I could always hide it with a paint. With a paint pen. Which I plan to do anyway. I plan to hide it with a paint pen, so it's okay. Okay. He looks foreign, but I think I did it. By George, I think I did it. I think I've done it. I don't know how I did it, but I think I've done it. Because he looks foreign here, and I don't want him to look foreign. He has to look like this is a part of his tentacles. They're back tentacles, but they're his nonetheless. It has to look like it belongs to him. I think in order for me to get into acrylic, I might need to read a book on it. Do I have any books on acrylic painting? No, I don't. Most of my books are on watercolor. I do have a book on gouache, but I don't really have any books on acrylic painting. Okay, I think I'm done with this piece here. I'm just tightening up some areas because it looks, yeah, just a few areas. These areas are completely dry. So when I go over with my paint pen, which I do plan to use to kind of soften this up a bit, it doesn't, okay, I'm looking at it. I have some paint I could use, so I'm trying to use up these paints that I mix. I mix way too much of this pink. But again, it goes back to my watercolor training. You always want to mix too much than too little. Oh my goodness. And I thought this thing was going to be finished in like how many minutes? Like in half an hour? And it's already 57 minutes. Jeez Louise. I think I might need to do something here. Or here. Is it here? Yeah, it's here. What I need to do is right. Oh gosh, that's too much paint on my brush. Right here. Are you seeing what I'm doing? A subtle little line in this part of it. Just a subtle little line to kind of indicate the where the, it's just subtle little lines. Yeah, just subtle little lines. So that when I put on my paint brush, it doesn't look, what's the word? It looks like a shadow. That's what I'm making. I'm making a little shadow with these subtle little lines. Here's another one. Yeah, just the shadow I'm putting on. That's all I'm doing. So when I do put on the paint pens, who knows? But again, this goes back to my watercolor training. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the color on it, this color on it, and I'm just pulling it out. So it kind of looks like a shadow, but it doesn't look too dark. So when it does pull out, it's like, okay, it's just a little shadow. So when it does pull out, it just looks like a little shadow. That's it. Okay. Okay. How far am I? Ooh, I could use blue. Okay, so now I am going to wash my palette off of all this pink. Hopefully some of this is going to dry, and I need black, which is somewhere here. And I also need blue. I'm thinking of using blue. Okay, so let me go and wash this off, and I'll be right back. That's all right. That's okay. All clean. All clean and ready to go for the next installment. So now we're going to be looking at our background colors. This is not a very... And I'm thinking blue. I don't know what the color is until I open it up. So this is cerulean blue, I believe. Yep, cerulean blue. This one is cobalt blue and it's stuck. Yeah, cobalt blue. I'm thinking cobalt because cerulean is a little too warm for my liking. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's warm. I also have an ultramarine blue here. And this ultramarine. I think if I use the ultramarine, I'll have to add white. And what blue color do I have in this? Phthalo blue I have here. This is what I'm looking at, guys. The color. I don't know what the color is until I open it up. And this looks embarrassing. So, these are the blues that I'm working with. So I'm thinking this one is a bit too warm. Is it warm? Yes, it's very warm. Cerulean. This one. Really, man? That's what you're gonna do to me? I felt you. The cover just flew off. And that's not nice. No, I don't see it. Oh, great. I guess I have to use you since I lost your cover. Excuse me. Uh-oh. This is not nice. I lost the cover. I lost the cover for this. It just fell. Okay, I'm not going to use my live stream time looking for a cover. I'm just going to use the color. So I'm going to use this since his cover decided to go south for winter. And I might use all of it because it's a big area I need to cover. It is a big area I need to cover. And I might need to go over it multiple times. And I need white. Now this is a glitter white. I don't know how much of it is in there. Okay, there we go. I need to find that cover, though. Oh gosh. Why did it fail, Jesus? Okay, get up. Oh, sorry guys, I have to find the cover. Okay, found it. Yeah, sorry. Found it. I just needed to get the flashlight. Fell under the table. What a memorable live stream. But we're just about the 1 hour mark, so we're doing good. We're doing really well. And now I'm gonna make my background very glittery. I'm using out the paints. Let's put it this way. I'm using out the paints. And I just made a lot of paint. See? Very glittery paint. So my background is going to be very glittery. Because I'm using that, this shimmery white paint. I have it, not using it that much. And I decided to put it in the background. That's just it. I decided to put it in the background. The beautiful part about it is that I do have to put down several coats of this, so it might not be as glittery as we thought. And acrylic paints are already glossy already. So this is a iridescent color, white. So I mixed the cobalt with an iridescent white. Hi Annie, how are you? Yeah, I'm trying my hand at acrylic paint. Trying, failing, but trying nonetheless. Maybe the next time my acrylic attempt is going to be so much better. Maybe. It's not really abstract though. It's more cartoony. Because my style is so cartoony, my acrylic painting is cartoony. I haven't done the eyes yet, so my it's cute. Yeah, it is a monument. I think it's a monument. It's an attempt. It is an attempt. The brush I'm using is the number 16 flat. It's the only flat I have in this model number, the Milan 311. So these are my gouache acrylic brushes. Like I said, I try to keep my brushes pretty consistent. If I'm doing gouache, I use just one set of brush or acrylic painting. I try not to mix them with my watercolor brush. Actually, I use these mostly. If I do use them with another medium, I use them with watercolor pencil because they're kind of stiff. And I mixed a lot of this color together. So what I need to do now is to put it in. You missed the excitement, Annie. I lost the cover for one of my acrylic paints. It dropped off and went under the table. So I was actually under the table during my live stream, trying to find a paint cover. Now this brush is too big. The eyes are going to be black. I know, but I can't get into the little corners of this with that big brush. So I have to switch to the number round. What I want to do is I'm going to finish it off with some Poscas or acrylic paint markers. Not necessarily Poscas. I do have some Poscas, but I have other brands too. So I'm going to finish it off with some acrylic paint markers. This is just a little chibi octopi to kind of weten my taste for acrylic painting, so that when I do an acrylic painting again, it's I'm a little more familiar with the medium. Because right now I feel like I'm failing the medium. Okay. But what I find out is that I have to put several coats of this paint down for me to get the desired color I want. I'm okay where it goes over just a little bit because like I said, I plan to line it anyway. But I can't go over it too much. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the... Remember, I didn't mix with this. I mixed with the palette knife. That's who I have to remember, that when I do acrylic painting, to mix with the palette knife and not mix with my brush like I do with watercolor. Okay, I think I got all my corners. It looks bad, but I'm planning to put on a second coat to kind of even it out just a tad because it looks bad. But I do need to get into the corners of these with the first coat. So now I'm going to mute you guys and I'm going to go over it. Hit it with the heat gun so it could dry quickly. Because even though I'm working acrylic paint, it doesn't dry quickly enough for me, guys. Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot, a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to open up the black. Because I'm going to put over another... Uh-oh. I think my black is finished. Let's see. Because what is coming out is not paint. It's... What's coming out is... binder. What's coming out is not paint, but binder. Now, remember, I'm going to hit a white on this, so I can get away with covering up the eyes. Oh, I think my black is finished. That's good. I finished the paint, an acrylic paint. I am happy. So now let me finish up the background. Let me use this brush here. This is my number 14 round. I was using the flat. Oh, sorry. You guys like was like dang. But I had to change to a smaller brush to get into the corners. So I just say maybe if I just use this, I could just use this one brush for everything. I'm using some paints for those people who just joined me that was gifted to me by a dear and amazing friend. She lives in Germany. I keep forgetting the part of Germany where she lives. But anyway. And she brought me these acrylic paints to play with. And I've had them for about 3 years. And if you notice, I did play with them some, but I'm not playing with them enough. That's the issue I'm having. I'm not playing with them enough. Now, this is going to look like weird because the white that I choose to mix this paint with is iridescent. And I'm seeing the iridescentness here on the palette, but I'm not sure if it's going to show up on the canvas. I don't remember if it shows up on the canvas. I don't remember. So, but that's okay. I have a plan. When I get up to grab the acrylic marker, I'm going to grab an acrylic wash and I'm going to put it over this. And we're going to see what turns out. I know. It's live. We can experiment. And how much minutes we have? A few more. I think by then, because I have like 3 coats of acrylic paints on the Octopus. I have like 3 coats of acrylic paint here. Because, oh gosh, why don't I like acrylic paints? This is what I don't like about acrylic paint. It is killing me. If I would have done this in watercolor, it would have looked so much better. But we're trying something new. I keep reminding myself of that. We're trying new things. Okay. And now let's hit it with some more. Try it again. All right. Epic fail? Might be. Ah! Epic fail. Even if I didn't think so, my brush just reminded me it's an epic fail when it fell out of my hand. But it's all right. It's all right. I have a plan. I have a plan. Thankfully, I'm working with acrylic. And the one thing I know about acrylic, even though I love watercolor to my core, the one thing I know about acrylic that watercolor doesn't do is layer on top of each other. And I'm going to layer something on top of that because I don't like how the, the back looks. I don't like it at all. It looks horrific. Even if I didn't want to think it was an epic fail, my brush just fell from my hand. So I think it's the universe way of telling me it's an epic fail. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this background here with this third layer because it's not layering the way I want it to layer. And that's what's hurting me. It's choppy, it's streaky, it's not doing it. So I'm just going to finish out the paint. And then I'm going to grab something I'm more familiar with and I'm going to put it on top of this because it's not working for me. I'm not familiar with these watercolor paint. I'm familiar with watercolor paints. Even the most difficult of watercolor paints to work with, I'm familiar with. These I'm not familiar with. And because I'm not familiar with it, it is killing me. But I am familiar with a version of acrylic gouache. So I'm going to grab those instead. And I'm going to finish off my background with this. It's just the look of it, that glossy look. I don't like it. It's just driving me up the wall. So what I did, clean my thing off again. How much minutes I have? I have about 30 minutes. So I'm going to grab the acrylic paint pens now. I'm going to let the background dry while I put these up. If you're hearing moving, I'm putting up my acrylic paints. Beautiful thing about it is I've used substantially a lot of them. So the acrylic paints are back up in their casing. Come on, go in. I know you don't want to, but you have to. And I'm going to grab my acrylic paint markers. So I have these that came through this color box. So I'm going to put it on the side here. And then I'm going to grab my wash acrylics. I'm going to put these on the far end here because out of this I only want one color. I only want one color. Out of these, I only want one color. And lucky for me, it has 4 blues. Oh no, 5. So I'm good now. I'm good. So I have Persian blue here. I have ultramarine. I use cobalt blue in these. But this cobalt blue is a bit too dark. I am familiar with gouache acrylic, so since that is already set in, I need to grab a black. So I'm gonna grab a white out of this. No, that's wash. And I already grabbed my white. So now I need to find the black. Looking for a black, guys. Bango, a black. So I have my white and I have my black. I'm thinking of using this white instead, because these are the whites I have. This is the white gouache acrylic I have. But you know, if you mixed gouache acrylic with just acrylic paint, it does produce the polymer shininess of acrylic paint. But I don't think we want to do that. But I'm going to pull it out anyway, because it's for the eyes. So now I'm going to, you see what I'm going to do now? With 30 minutes left, so I'm going to dry this off, and then I'm going to see if I could fix this background. Let's see if we can try to fix this background. So I'm using the Turner's acrylic gouache. It's like, is it the only acrylic gouache I have? Probably the only acrylic gouache I have. So I'm going to put a nice healthy heap of Turner gouache acrylic there. There it is, a nice healthy heap. Because I'm going to see if I could try to fix this background. And then I'm going to grab the only Holbein gouache acrylic I have. Put a nice healthy heap of white there. I'm going to grab my palette knife. Going to mix it all up. I really don't care about the shade of blue that I have there. I just need to cover it. So that's my concern. Okay. Because, oh, the rain has stopped. Thank you, Lord. And being that I already have like 3 layers here of this color, I'm hoping that I don't need much of this to cover this. So let's see if it's going to do exactly what I want it to do. Oh my goodness, that is so much better. It feels better. It feels better. It's like, oh my gosh, that feels so much better. I don't feel like I'm torturing anymore. I feel like I'm painting now. It just feels better. Yeah, I'm not used to working with acrylic paints. Maybe it's because the acrylic paints, the gouache acrylic I have are Turners, and it's a better brand, and the acrylic paints I have are a brand that I'm not familiar with. Maybe that's the reason why. So I'm more used to working with these, but it just feels better, guys. It really just feels better. Like, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I know. An hour and a half into the painting, and I'm like, you could have just did this from the beginning. Just paint with the wash acrylics that you have. But I'm like, no, I want to try new mediums. Yeah, it just feels better. Now let me flip my hand up a bit so I can get between here. I'm used to this. So what have I learned? I can't paint with acrylic paints. It tortures me. Lesson number 1. I can't work with acrylic paints. I mean, I could work with wash acrylic, but I can't work with acrylics. Or if I do work with acrylics, just do this. Put the acrylic down as your base coat and then put your gouache acrylic over it. I learned that. I had a reference, Annie. I used a reference on Google. I used like 4 reference on Google. I just go to Google, put in Chibi Octopus, and it brought out the whole page. And I just looked at the whole page and I grabbed this from that, that from that. But yeah, this just feels better. It really does. I feel so much better using this paint than using the acrylics. I don't know how Annie does it using acrylics because she uses acrylics in some of her artworks. I just, and look at it, it's already drying. You know, see, it's already drying at all. It just feels better. Oh gosh. Lesson learned. I don't know how to work with acrylic paints. And if I do, I'll probably have to do abstract, just make a mess. Like when you do abstract painting in, what's the thing that they do the abstract painting in art journals? Yeah, I could probably do it like that. Just put a bunch of acrylic paint down. This just feels better. It's like, oh my goodness, I feel so much more satisfied doing this here than using the acrylic paints. And you notice I just feel better. It's like, oh my goodness, it just feels better. Ah, this is me getting excited because I feel so good. I'm working with something I know. You watched me suffer for an hour and a half. I'm like, I don't know this medium. I have it and I don't know it. I know gouache acrylic. An hour and a half into this painting. And it feels better. And now I think I made too much because I still have a lot of acrylic paints here. But I can go over it right here again. Just to kind of cover whatever is here because this part is dry. Just to kind of cover that side again because this part is dry. Oh. Okay, it's stuck. Probably stick because I'm gonna cover it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't you do that. Don't you dare. Not when I'm trying to okay. Okay, turn. Thank you. Let me cover my lines here. It just feels better, guys. This just feels better. It's like night and day. Don't you dare fall. And it's not like the acrylic paint that I had to put the heat gun in. The gouache acrylic is already drying. It's like crazy. Like I said, maybe it's the quality I'm working with, because the only gouache acrylic I have is Turner. But I do have those student-friendly acrylic paints. Thrifty did say he worked with Golden Open, so. Okay. Okay, I could set you. Can I set you down? Yeah, I could set you down. Caused a royal mess, but it's okay. A royal mess, but it's okay. It just feels better, guys. It just feels better. It's like night and day. Here am I working with these acrylic paints, torturing myself for an hour and a half. And I'm like, gosh. And the minute I said, you know what, let me grab these gouache acrylics to cover that acrylic mess that I made, it was like, oh, it's like the choirs just came on. It just felt better. Now I need to let it set, let it dry, and grab the my acrylic paint markers. I have here those Frisk that I got from, I do have some Poscas. So we're going to see which one of these are opaque. I'm going to clean out my, clean out. Okay. That's going to dry. You're welcome. You have no idea how I tortured. I have a little blue dot on the octopi face, but it's going to stay there because I tortured. Because I tortured. It's going to stay there because I tortured. And all I had to do was pull out the Turners. Oh gosh, that's all I had to do. Pull out the Turners. So next time we work with acrylics, we're going to use gouache acrylics because I torture with acrylics. I do. That one. The only acrylic I seem to work with fine is the Sargent Art. So now let's hit you with some. It's going to dry really quick, and then OMG. This thing dried in like seconds. I was just looking at amazement of how it was drying so fast. You guys have to excuse me. I'm like using gouache acrylic after torturing myself with acrylics. Now these are the Frisk paint pens. I have here in my hand the black. I have here in my hand the white. So let's prime these. I got these from Scroller Box. And there's one more pen I want. Is it you? I think it's you. Yeah, it's you. This is the Posca. I'm using the Posca because I want this point. So these are the Frisk paint markers. Now my swatch booklet is also a so I think I can move you. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving the easel. I don't need it anymore. Okay, let's just put you there for right now. Yes. Yeah, you can see how wet it is. The easel was kind of blocking the wetness. Let me bring you guys down a bit to here. Because I work better with paint markers when I'm working flat. So let me bring you guys here now. You see how this looks? All I had to do was change my medium. I work better with paint markers when I'm working flat. So what I'm doing now is, uh-oh, this is not black. This looks like gray. It's supposed to be black though. It looks like gray. Yeah, this looks like gray. This is not black. So let me find a black marker. The first doesn't come with a black, because that looks like gray. As you can see there. Yeah, this is more black. I want a black. I want a black. Can I rest my hand on it? See, I could even rest my hand on it. So all I'm going to do is clean up my lines a bit with this. These are some markers that I bought here. They're Suzette. So I'm just going to clean up my lines a bit with this. Oh my goodness. The sad part about these are you keep having to prime them. What went on? Oh, what happened? Something didn't dry. I rest my hand in something and I don't have this color anymore to put over it. Oh, I ruins it. Oh, it's this. I rest my hand into the black of the Frisk markers. And I was like, oh, being comfortable, and it ruins. I ruins it. Oh man, that is not good. That's quite okay though. I think I could get away with that here because I just need to join these lines. That's all I need to do. Do I have a pink? I think I might have a pink to match the pink here. Might. Probably the Posca pink. Could probably match it there. You know what? Just get on my hand. Just get on my hand. Okay. I ruins it. Now this is the Frisk white. So I need to put some white down. So I'm putting some white here. Thank you. I wish that was a first black. Let's see if we could find the Posca black. I know I have a Posca black somewhere. No, 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 no. Bango. Posca black. And we need to find the Posca pink, because that's closer to this pink that I did here. I ruins it. The thing that I don't appreciate, oh gosh, is that I need to leave my hand off the ground. I have to make sure the point has enough ink on it so that when I put it over, it doesn't flip. I wish that first black was really, really dark, but it's not. There's another black I have here. This is from Zaire. But I'm not sure if this is a black like the Posca. Let's see what we're working with here. Because I really want a big bold black on the outline. Yeah, because it's a chibi. So we don't need to have the outline could be big and bold. Okay. Big and bold outline. Especially for someone like me who likes to rest my hand on my artwork, I have to be mindful that I'm going to be messy. And my art is going to be messy, but it's not a Made by Dawn original if it doesn't have Made by Dawn mistakes. I learned to accept that fact. I'm just shaking the markers. And priming them again because I need this to have a lot of ink on it. Okay, I'm gonna turn it around now. Like I said, I'm a very moving artist, so if you see me moving my canvas like I'm doing there, I'm in my comfort zone because I'm a very moving artist. I love to move my canvas around, whether that canvas is a literal canvas like the one I have here, or it's a piece of paper. Okay, we're almost done with this. Next time I learn my lesson, don't do acrylics. Do gouache acrylics. Save yourself the heartache. Save yourself the heartache. Now there's another color I want. I want you. Save yourself the heartache. This is the Posca black, and I'm going to use him for the ones that are in here. Because it's a thinner marker, but that's what I want, a thinner marker. Don't forget, I have a huge mistake over there. A huge one. And I like to rest my hand on my artwork, and it's something I need to take myself out of. The beautiful thing about the Poscas is that it matches these Zaire markers, the black, at least the black does. So I could just join them together. And now we just need to join you because you're different. Yeah. Cute. Ooh. I wonder, where's that pencil? Where is that pencil? Fine. Maybe we can just cover it up. But then if I cover it up, it's going to be torture, but I think I should cover it up. So let's see if I could cover it up. Okay. Almost done, guys. Almost finished. I just need to cover this up a bit. I need to cover up that mistake that I have there. Okay. I'm going to do something in the middle. Pasca, pasca, pasca. I can't rest my hand on my artwork. Okay. Okay. Is that here? I actually enjoy using these more than the pascas. The ones that are to the bottom are the ones that I bought here in my country. Those are the pointers. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yowzers. Yowzers. What can I say but you're welcome? I saved it, believe it or not. After torturing, I'm almost done. I just need to put one little line here. I saved it. I'm like, gosh, I tortured. I can't believe I tortured. That background was killing me. What can I say but you're welcome? Now I just need this part to dry it because I want to put a little tongue in the mouth. But all in all, I'm wondering if I should just put more bubbles around him with the white. Maybe not to the bottom of him, but definitely around the top we can do more bubbles, like little ones. Because all I'm doing is putting like, I'm not even drawing the circle, I'm just dotting it. And for the ones that are near him, I just need to remember not to cross the black border. Yeah. And I don't have to be, what's the word? I don't have to be exact when I'm putting these in. Because even though bubbles are round, they're not exactly completely round. Yeah, even though bubbles are round, they're not exactly round. So we can get away with doing things like that. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot somebody. I forgot you. How could I forget you? There you go. Okay. Here we are. And we are finished. So what I'm going to do now is going to grab this pen here. Got to prime them up a bit. Yeah. No, that's a bit too dark for my liking. I want something. Let's see how it writes. What about Octopus? No, that's too bright. Let's just grab you. No. We have a dark Posca here. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to put in my today's date because I'm finishing up. Today's the 7th of July. And was taught to write date the English way, the British way. So I say day before month of 2024. And this is a DE original. I'm going to put that there. And here you go. Guys, this was a struggle. I floundered in the beginning because I wanted to use the tempera acrylics. They were spoiled. They're not good for anything, so I had to toss them in the garbage. Then I pulled out the acrylics and I struggled for an hour and a half, and it wasn't until I pulled out the gouache acrylics I was really in my comfort zone. So it was a struggle. This was a struggle. These 2 hours was a struggle for me. But I think in the end, I was able to kind of save this piece a bit. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey. This was a journey for us. And as always, guys, please stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember that tomorrow I do have a premiere coming, so don't forget to check that out. And as always, for all my friends there in the Texas state area, I know Hurricane Beryl passed me by, but they said it's going to you guys. Please be safe. I hope there's no damages to your area and no more, literally no more loss of life due to this devastating hurricane. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Yes, Annie, I got there in the end. It was struggling. I struggled. You should have seen the beginning. It was terrible, but in the end, I pulled my chibi octopus, the octopus together. It's not an octopi, it's only one. So I struggled, but I pulled it in the end together, and I learned that from you. Trust the process. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye. Sorry. No, not you. You.